What's going on, Blazer fans? Welcome into the Uprise podcast. We got a pretty light podcast for you guys. We'll talk some trade talk. We'll talk about the slam dunk participants. There's two that have been confirmed, one of which I'm not a fan of, and two that are mulling the option. None of those guys are Anfernee Simons, and one of those guys should be Anfernee Simons. But we'll get into that. We got to jump straight into our usual segment, which is picks against the spread, because we're starting a bit late. So some of these games might have already started. I don't know how many started at 4:10 Pacific time. But before we get into that, first off, if you want to donate to our Patreon, there's a link in the description below. These are our current patrons, and you'll have an opportunity to guest on a podcast or a post-game show. If you are one of the people that is donating $10 a month or more, I sent you a message on Patreon, so check your Patreon messages. I sent you a message about possibly coming onto the podcast or the stream at some point. So the link is in the description below if you want that opportunity, if you want a guest appear alongside me and Eric Brandt. So anyway, let's get straight into picks against the spread. Our first game is Orlando versus the Brooklyn Nets. Orlando is favored by 5.5 points against the Nets, and I'm going with Orlando. They've been playing better lately. They've gotten a little bit healthier, even though they just lost Jonathan Isaac. They just got back Nikola Vucevic. That team has kind of been snake bitten by injuries a little bit. But I think, Brooklyn's the same way. They're without Kyrie, they're without KD, so I'm taking the Magic at home. Who you got, Eric?
I think Orlando will win this game, but I think it'll be close, so I'm going to take the Nets with the points.
All right, there you go. I got to fix a couple things. Give me a second. Boom. I thought you were going to explain a little bit more. I was going to take literally like 10 seconds to fix a couple things, and you just hit it real fast. Okay, there we go. The next game we got the 76ers in Philadelphia taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. The 76ers are favored by 7 points, and I'm going to go with the Philadelphia 76ers. Also, I forgot to say, if you want to vote on these games, then do so in the chat down below. So we got first game, it looked like we had Orlando. And then this game, I'm voting with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think 7's a bit high. The Thunder have been killing it. I think they're 20-15 right now. That's the team we're chasing for 7th. But they're pulling away from us. Philadelphia's been struggling. I actually think the Thunder might win this game outright, even though it's in Philadelphia. I think this will be a great game, and I'm going to roll with the Thunder. Who you got, Eric?
I'm also rolling with the Thunder. Basically what you just said, the Thunder are playing better. Philadelphia has lost 4 in a row, I believe. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they have a bounce-back game here. But when you're getting 7 points and it's team playing better, I like to take that.
For sure. Chat's agreeing with us. We got OKC. And in the future, I want to put, like, little side bets on each day. That would be something fun. Just to make, like, each day a little bit more meaningful, since we're playing for the long run, but it's a long season. It'd be fun to make little side bets. Maybe chat can come up with a bet for us tonight by the end of this segment. If you guys come up with a bet where, if we both lose, we both got to do something. If one of us loses to the other, then we got to do something. I don't know. That'd be something cool. So let me know. But chat's going with OKC. So rolling on to our next game. We're rolling right through things here. We got the Washington Wizards at home against the Boston Celtics. The Celtics are favored by 8 points. And I think this is a pretty easy game to bet on. I think it's going to be the Celtics. The Wizards are banged up. I don't know if Beal's coming back. Eric doesn't help me out with injury information. I'm just kidding.
I don't know either.
Oh, you don't know either? Okay, then we both are in the same boat here. I don't know if Beal's coming back. Either way, I think it's easy to go with Boston there. They're super banged up. They're waiting on getting Wagner back, Thomas Bryant back. When they're healthy, I actually don't think they're a bad team. They're just not healthy and weren't, a great team to begin with. So who you got, Eric?
I'm also rolling with Boston. They're playing well, and Washington has – well, they beat Denver the other night, but they look really bad against us. So Yeah, I'll just roll with Boston.
Yeah, for sure. That's a pretty easy pick. I think chat's rolling with Boston as well. What's up, Austin Wack? I don't know why I said your name like Austin, but what's up, Austin Wack? Says, hey guys, happy there's a video. Me too, man. I've been grinding on these graphics the past hour. We got Celtics. All right, chat's rolling with Celtics. Chat's agreeing with me on almost everything, I think. So next game we got is a couple teams that we haven't picked on in a while, and that is the Charlotte Hornets in Charlotte taking on the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers are favored by 5 points on the road, and I'm rolling with the Charlotte Hornets. I like the Pacers as a team, but Charlotte's been a bit tough at home. Charlotte was a bit underrated going into the season, and 5 points. I think this will be a close game. I'm going to roll with the Hornets. This is a tough game to pick, though. Who you got?
I like the Pacers in this one. Just getting a win on the road. I know Charlotte's been playing okay, but 5 points isn't that high when you're that much better of a team than someone. So I'll take the 5 points.
For sure. All right. Next game we got Hawks. We got where's my graphic for this? Oh, I don't have a graphic for this. All right, there we go. We'll just use the main one. We got the Hawks at home going up against the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets are favored by 7.5 points. The Hawks are kind of healthier right now. I think they got Trae Young back. They got John Collins back. Those two haven't played much together this year, but I'm still rolling with the Denver Nuggets. 7.5 points isn't a big enough spread for me to take the Hawks. The Nuggets are just the far better team.
Yeah, it worried me a little bit with them losing to Washington the other night. But yeah, 7.5. I think they bounce back tonight.
For sure. All right. We got New Orleans in the Big Easy taking on the Utah Jazz. The Jazz are favored by 2.5 points. I'm rolling with the Jazz. I think this is a pretty easy game to pick. This is my most confident pick of the day. The Jazz are they're just the better team, and when the better team is only favored by 2.5 points, I'm rolling with the better team. That's such a small spread. Pretty much every game is, a bigger margin than that. The Jazz are just noticeably better than the Pelicans, in my opinion, even though the Pelicans have started picking it up, and they have an easy schedule for the rest of the season, and they'll get Zion back. That could be a dark horse team for the 8th spot. That's a team Portland's going to have to deal with in the long run if they want to make the playoffs, but I'm rolling with the Jazz here. Who you got, Eric?
I'm going to take New Orleans at home in this one. Just have a feeling that they're going to win tonight. Someone in chat, Trevin, said no Drew tonight, which hurts my cause there. But New Orleans has been playing a lot better. So, yeah, I'm going to take New Orleans.
Awesome. Third to last game. We got a ton of games tonight. We're going to get through these quick. We got the Spurs at home against the Bucks. The Bucks are favored by 7 points. Were you trying to say something?
Yeah, chat's 2-2 for that game. New Orleans and Utah. So I just need one more person to vote for the New Orleans-Utah game that hasn't voted already, and then we'll have chats vote.
Could flip a coin. I'm flipping a coin for chat.
All right. There we go. We got a Utah.
All right, no coin flip. We got Spurs in San Antonio taking on the Bucks. Bucks are favored by 7 points. I'm rolling with the Spurs. I feel like I've always bet with the Bucks, and it's worked out pretty well for me, but I'm just feeling something a little different right now. 7 points is a lot, on the road against a decent team, in my opinion, which is the Spurs. They're playing a lot better recently. They still got stars, so I'm rolling with the Spurs.
I'm going to take the Bucks. They're just a much better team, and I'm pretty sure Giannis is playing, so 7 points isn't a huge spread.
Yeah. Easy logic, simple logic. Here we go. We got the Mavericks in Dallas taking on the Chicago Bulls. The Mavericks are favored by 9 points, so I'm rolling with the Bulls. Wait, no, I'm rolling with the Mavericks. Yeah, I changed that. I changed that at the last second. You know what? Honestly, you know what my thought process was? I always bet against the Mavericks. The Mavericks, I feel like, always have too big of a point spread. And that's what I was thinking about for this game. But when I bet against them, it always seems to backfire on me. So even though I still feel like 9 is too big of a spread, I'm rolling with the Mavericks for once. And we'll see if it actually works out for me, because whenever I bet against them, I lose. So I have to change things up. I'm rolling with the Magic. Who you got, Eric?
I'm going to take the Bulls, kind of the opposite you said. 9 points is a lot. I don't think Porzingis is playing tonight. So I just think hopefully the Bulls can keep it close. They're one of those teams that either shows up or they don't at all, so they get blown out. So
Yeah.
This is a really tough one, but I'm going to go with the Bulls.
Alrighty. Well, hopefully Dallas pulls through for me. We got last game of the night. We got the Kings in Sacramento taking on the Golden State Warriors. The Kings are favored by 10 points. So I'm taking the Warriors. I don't know why they're favored by 10 points. I feel like that's a huge spread for the Kings, who have been mediocre. I guess they're healthy now, but...
Bagley's out again.
Okay, Bagley's out again. 10 is just way too high of a spread for the Kings, especially since Oakland, San Francisco, the Bay Area, that's close to Sacramento. I think there will be some Warriors fans in the house, even though they suck. I don't think it will be a true home court advantage for the Kings. That was a pretty easy pick for me. I'm taking the Warriors.
Yeah, me as well. 10 points. If it would have been a little closer, I probably would have picked the Kings. But yeah, 10 points. I'll take my chances.
I was shocked to see that spread, man. I was shocked to see a 10-point spread on that game. So anyway, if chat has a bet for me and Eric, I don't be creative. We could do something on stream. It could be something. The loser has to do something, or if chat wins, both of us have to do something. If I win, you'd have to do something. If you win, I'd have to do something. If chat wins, both of us has to do something. That could be a cool bet. We could do that every podcast if you guys got ideas for us. You can tweet them at us in the future. You can DM them to me. Maybe I'll see them. Maybe I won't, because my DMs are pretty full with a lot of fans. But yeah.
We just need one. Cool. The Mavs Bulls game was tied 2-2, unless someone else other than Ethan Hamza.
All right, here's the coin.
Tommy flip. And Brian won.
Heads is Mavs. Heads is Mavs. All right, we got tails as the Bulls.
Okay.
There we go. And Portland made some Bulls anyway. There you go. Alrighty. If we win, you guys do podcast. If we lose, you guys do podcast. So basically what we've been doing. Anyway, we're going to get into the topic that I chose for this video. Please put Anfernee Simons in the damn dunk contest. The dude had an amazing dunk yesterday. The dunk of the season, in my opinion. I think it was better than Dame's dunk on opening night against Jamal Murray, where he made that spin move and drove inside the lane. That was a ferocious dunk, especially from a guy that skinny, that small, to dunk with that amount of power. I loved it. And it was on Myers Leonard, his former teammate. That was a great dunk. He had 3 dunks yesterday, Simons did. And this dude needs to be in the dunk contest, because his vertical, man, this dude has the leaping ability to really put on a show. I want to see what this guy can do. I want to see the extent of his creativity in terms of his dunk package. It would be a ton of fun as a Blazer fan in a season that has been kind of crummy, to say the least. But right now, it looks like Simons might not get in, because there's been 2 people that were confirmed today to be in the dunk contest. One was Derek Jones Jr., which I 1000% understand. I think he was a former winner, or at least a former participant.
He had a nice dunk last night, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that dude consistently has nice in-game dunks. He jumps out of the gym. I don't know. I'm trying to fix my hair. But, yeah, no, dude flies. Dude flies. Derek Jones Jr., I'm excited to see him in the dunk contest, because he's the type that can pull off something that you've never seen before. The second guy that was confirmed, I absolutely hate that he's in the dunk contest, and I think it's stupid as hell. Dwight Howard is going to be in the dunk contest. I don't know. Did you see that, Eric?
Yeah, you don't want... How old is Dwight Howard? 32 or something?
Yeah, how old is Dwight Howard, chat?
Look it up.
The dude definitely doesn't jump
34.
like he used to, and he wasn't like the most impressive. I don't know, like he won one or two dunk contests back 10 years ago, but it wasn't the most impressive dunks. It wasn't like after seeing what Levine and Aaron Gordon did, like what Dwight Howard did in his dunk contest don't hold a candle to that. And yeah, now he's 34 years old. He's not even going to have the same jumping ability. Like, it's going to be one of those guys that's in it and just like everybody's falling asleep because this dude's going to do like a back scratcher or something. You know what I mean? I don't understand why Dwight Howard is in it. It's because he's on the Lakers. That's a good point from Hamza. But put Jokic over Howard in the dunk contest. Yeah, I'd rather see Nikola Jokic in the dunk contest than Dwight Howard because at least that'd be funny as hell, trying to see Jokic do something creative and fail. But I mean, like, put Anfernee Simons in over Dwight Howard, man. Maybe Dwight Howard ends up, with an injury or something. He's been injury prone the past couple years. And maybe Anfernee's the alternate. But I hated that Dwight Howard got it, and probably over Anfernee Simons, because the two other people that they asked that are mulling the decision to join the dunk contest this year, Zach LaVine, which everybody knows is absolute stud of a dunker, maybe the best dunk contest dunker in NBA history, at least up there with Vince Carter in my opinion. And then you got Ja Morant, who's well-known, exciting, rookie, can jump out of the gym as well. Like, he's a terrific pick. It's just like you look at Zach LaVine, Ja Morant, Derrick Jones Jr. as the three of the four. Like, that's terrific. The fourth, as a Blazer fan and just as a, somebody who's enjoyed watching the dunk contest in the past, the fourth should be Anfernee Simons. That would make that group of four would be terrific, wouldn't it? I mean...
Yeah, I just don't think, because until yesterday, I don't know if we've had a dunk from Simons. There was one kind of on a fast break a couple weeks ago where he kind of pushed off a little bit. But for the most part, unless he's wide open, he just kind of lays it in. So in-game dunking, I don't think a lot of people even recognize how much ups he has. And that's something where I was actually surprised to see him dunk like that last night. Not because I didn't know he could do it, but because, like, usually he doesn't go strong like that. And I feel like you've been saying this for several weeks now, where if he just attacks the rim like that, he's either going to get fouls or he's going to finish like that. And it's much better for his shot if he's attacking the rim like that versus trying to like flip it up from the side or do crazy stuff. So I was happy he finally showed some of those ups. Might just be a little bit too late now to get into the dunk contest for this year.
Yeah, sadly.
But maybe next year.
Yeah. I was just hoping the NBA was paying attention and saw some of the workout clips of this guy.
Well, like Derrick Jones, I mean, he just like attacks the rim. Like he wants to throw it down every time he's close, And I don't really feel that with Anfernee yet. I feel like he kind of shies away from that sometimes.
Hey, I feel like he's starting to get there, though.
Yeah.
He's been better lately, and last night showed it. I mean,
hopefully that gives him the confidence to just like throw it back.
Oh, I know. I mean, Anfernee's like the one guy that's gonna bring excitement no matter what to the team. I mean, like, Dame will bring excitement just because of how good he is, but like Anfernee, it's like the dude can put a poster on somebody. The dude's like, young, and he's kind of the future. He's our our hope, our hope for the future. And just watching him develop is a treat in itself. We know what we're gonna get at Dame, game in, game out. We have no idea what we're gonna get at Anfernee. He could have a complete dud, or he could go off. He has the ability to go off for like 25 if he gets the shot. So I feel like he's really our last, one of our last hopes for entertainment so far this season. We'll get Nurkic back. That'll be entertaining. And then the trade deadline will be entertaining. I just wanted some All-Star Weekend entertainment by having Anfernee in the dunk contest along with those other three. That would have been so much fun. Could have maybe done a stream around that. I don't know. I just started thinking about possible stuff we could do for All-Star Weekend. We're gonna have to do picks. We're gonna have to do that type of stuff. That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. We'll do maybe a preview podcast or something like that. But
I'm so in like trade mode right now. Like,
Oh
I'm not
yeah,
even
and I
thinking
mean
about
we're
the
gonna
All-Star game.
end. Yeah, we're gonna end that. We're gonna end this podcast with trade talk. Just everything's been trade talk, so I wanted to talk about a little something else other than trade talk for once, other than picks against the spread, other
Yeah.
than recapping a game. So the dunk contest, All-Star Weekend, that's something. That was something we could talk about. But trade talk. Trade talk. I mean, it's getting frustrating because there's nothing new in the past few days. I want like just a steady diet of rumors right now.
Well, there was a rumor today that does impact a potential trade target.
What was that?
Chris Haynes is reporting that Blake Griffin is seeing a specialist in LA and that he's mulling season-ending surgery on his knee.
I think Blake Griffin's out the window at this point. That dude was my pipe dream, but his injuries have gotten worse. Now it's to the point where you can't really look past him. The dude is broken, it seems.
They call and offer Griffin for Whiteside straight up, no picks, no assets, nothing. You're turning him down?
No. At that point, I'm hoping, okay.
That might not be enough money. We might have to throw in like Hazonia or something.
Yeah, the gist of it would be Whiteside for Blake Griffin. At that point, man, it's like, you know what? Okay, if he doesn't play, then what? He has 3 years left on his contract this year.
So.
Okay,
I'll double check.
So the next year he might not be tradable. We might be stuck, but then the year after he'd be a big expiring contract for us to try and like make our final last, all-in move. But then the hope would be, okay, maybe, shut him down for the rest of the season. He's barely played this year. Maybe he can get back to the Blake Griffin we saw last year, next year.
Real quick, he only has 2 years.
Oh, 2 years? So he's expiring next year?
No, like 2 years after this one.
Yeah, 3 years including this year. Yeah, that's
it's Green, which he has a player option his last year.
Which he'll take.
It's for $39 million. So.
He ain't turning down $39 million. But at that point, you're hoping, okay, maybe since he barely played this year, we'll try and fix his knee, and then rest him up for next season, and then maybe he can get back to the guy who averaged 25, 7, and 5. That'd be the hope. The upside of that would outweigh the downside. Whiteside, what we need to get something for Whiteside. So getting a bad contract next year and an expiring contract the year after, like that downside isn't terrible compared to the possible upside that you might be able to get Blake Griffin back to what he was last year.
Well, plus that trade would, if Blake was out for the year, would really help our. If you're rooting for a higher draft pick, that would help.
That too. So I'd do that. So
I was goofing around with trades earlier, and I had basically Detroit would get Bazemore and Whiteside. Minnesota would get Langston Galloway and one of our minimum contract guys like Trent or someone like that. And then we get Robert Covington, Blake Griffin, and Derrick Rose. And we'd probably have to throw a couple seconds towards Minnesota. But
so Minnesota would trade Covington for Galloway, Trent in a couple seconds?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be enough for him to trade Covington at that point.
I would even switch it to a first if needed. You lottery protect it, so then when we don't make the playoffs this year, then it goes to lottery protected next year or whatever. But yeah, that gives us like a wing, a point guard for next year, 2 contracts that are really reasonable with Rose and Covington, and then you have a big risk with Griffin. I mean, that would pretty much be all we could do this year. But I don't know. It would really help start next year. And so then you basically have Dame, CJ, Rose, Simons as the guards next year. You have Covington, Hood if he's back, Hazonia if he picks up his player option, and Little on the wing.
Yeah.
And then you have Griffin, Nurk, Collins, and if we re-sign Scal. So that's 12 guys. And then you have your first round pick. So throw in like Obi Toppin or whoever we get there. And then we have our mid-level exception. So you get a guy like, I don't know, just throwing names out there like a Crowder or Glenn Robinson or any number of guys in that CJ Miles, like those get like a vet wing, for some depth. And then you could sign like a big on a minimum contract just to have someone on the end of that bench. I don't know. I think that's pretty good.
I mean,
obviously that all depends on Griffin's knee, but it has the ability to turn out just like this season where everyone's hurt and it sucks. But it also has the ability to be really good.
Yeah.
I know the chances of that are really small, but actually, like when I saw that news, I was like, wow, that actually, because I was completely off the trade for Blake Griffin bandwagon. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, maybe we can get him for basically nothing now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna, with Blake Griffin, I'm not gonna really like consider him an option at this point, just because of his injury issues and if he's out for the year. Like, yeah, maybe we could trade for him. I'm not really gonna focus on him though. I saw somebody in chat say CJ for Ben Simmons. That's also something I'm not going to focus on unless there's a legit rumor about that, because I highly doubt Neil trades CJ. I highly doubt Philadelphia gives up Simmons for CJ. Trading CJ and a first-round pick for Simmons doesn't make sense to me. I don't think Simmons is a great fit next to Dame because he needs the ball in his hands. It's like, This is what I don't understand, okay? You talk about, Dame, you have these certain people that say Dame and CJ can't, function together. Both of them need the ball, and that's a problem. So let's trade CJ for Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons needs the ball more than CJ does. I mean, yes.
He can't play off the ball at all.
Yeah, I mean, yes, if you're running pick and roll with Dame and Ben Simmons, then, if Dame gets trapped, Simmons is a good outlet. But we shouldn't be basing personnel moves off of the fact that our coach struggles to handle a trap and struggles to, position guys correctly to handle a trap. So we need a playmaking four to handle a trap. You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't trade for Ben Simmons just because that's the only way we can handle a trap, because we should be able to handle more traps in more ways than that. And then if you want to run, Dame and Nurkic pick and roll, then Simmons hurts that. If you want to run Dame isolation, Simmons hurts that. If you want to, Simmons hurts a lot of actions on the basketball court. It's part of the reason why they've been struggling, because they have a really talented team there in Philadelphia, but Simmons' fit is very, very weird. He needs to be in a situation where he's just surrounded by shooters and it's surrounded by guys like maybe a CJ McCollum, guys that can score on their own but also spot up, play off the ball, and shoot. He needs to be kind of in the position that Jimmy Butler is in this year, because Jimmy Butler he's struggling with his shot, his 3-point shot. He's scoring with a solid amount of efficiency inside the arc, but he's just surrounded by shooters. You guys, Duncan Robinson, Myers Leonard, Kelly Olynyk, just a number of different shooters there in Miami, and it's working out well for them. So that's the type of situation Ben Simmons needs to be. Being the number 2 guy next to a Damian Lillard isn't a good fit for him.
Yep. Completely agree. I mean, I would be surprised if Philadelphia moved on from Simmons, even though it seems like they're not getting along completely this year with him and Embiid. But yeah, the only reason why I would maybe do that trade is if you think you could get more in a trade for Simmons than you could CJ. So find a third team that wanted Simmons, say like New Orleans or something, pair him and Zion together or something, and then you get Brandon Ingram and like filler or whatever.
Yeah.
But
It's hard to see something like that shaken out.
exactly.
But yeah, so that's the thing is I'm not focusing on CJ trades this year.
Mm-hmm.
Blazer fans, I think, are focusing too much on CJ trades this year. I highly doubt CJ McCollum is going to get traded. We've talked about CJ trades year after year after year. He's here. He's here. He just signed an extension. I highly, highly doubt, you guys have listened to Neil Olshey, right? Listen to the way he talks about CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard together. I highly doubt that Neil Olshey splits up that backcourt. I'd be shocked, honestly. So I think Blazer fans are focusing too much on CJ trades. There's so many other opportunities and avenues for us to go, and we have tradable contracts and we have assets, and we're kind of in a weird position. There's just so much more out there. There's too many realistic options for me to sit here and talk about something that I don't think is realistic, which would be trading CJ McCollum.
Yeah, it's like, why would we assign him to that extension if we're going to try to trade him? It makes it harder to trade him.
Yeah.
He still had another year left on his contract, so he would have been. It's not like he was expiring and it would have ruined his trade value or something. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. Plus, I've been trying to come up with CJ ideas for years, but I just kind of, at this point, I want to see them with a different style of play, like a different coach, a different offense, and see what that happens. And if that doesn't work and CJ's still too much ISO, not enough ball movement, too many dribbles, then you talk about trading him. But I think the easiest thing to do would be to switch the coach out. But that's not, either of those isn't going to happen. So it's just dumb to talk about. They all got extensions this summer. They're going to be Blazers. Olshey, Stotts, Dame, CJ are all tied together. For as long as they're here, those guys will all be here as well.
Sorry, I did not hear a single word you just said because I just saw this Joel Embiid thing.
Oh, is it nasty?
Oh, dude, it's bad. How does your finger get dislocated like that? It's twisted 90 degrees or something.
Nice.
Yeah, so chat was... Oh, that's so weird looking. What the hell? I see something right here that says he re-entered the game. Chat was spamming it.
Yeah, sometimes it looks bad, but you can just pop it back into place.
This looks bad though. You gotta look at this, man. Oh my god. Okay, chat. You could. I wish we could have. I wish we had somebody that could clip the podcast, because I'd say clip my reaction to that, because I think chat knows when I saw that, because I jumped back. Oh my god, that was bad. Oh, dude. Well, see, I've seen dislocated fingers. Dislocated fingers don't really get to me. But that finger was so messed up, dude. It was bad.
I see it now.
Yeah, that's bad, huh? It's twisted 90 degrees. It's rotated. What the hell? Hamza said Lillard had beef with a fan saying he doesn't do anything. Did he? I'll have to look that up too. We're in Twitter mode.
That was I saw something. I think it was from someone who follows one of us on Twitter.
He follows me, Benjamin KG, Trailblazers 39. I had to defend him too. Because fans, I don't know. Because he said, keep giving us the BS quotes, Dame, but when you're completely fed up, please say something, because things can't keep going like they have been. Maybe the BS quotes thing wasn't the right choice of words there, because I didn't necessarily disagree with Dame, but I think he was basically just saying
I think he had a tweet before that he deleted though, and I don't know what he said in that because it says deleted above that. Um, but yeah,
I mean,
there was lots of people on because Blazers have posted like the quotes like that from Lillard after the game,
yeah.
and there's been lots of people lately who are being like, "Well, you did it too," just like asking him why. What's up with the energy not being there? Why do you say that after
Oh
every
yeah,
game?
you know, it's just like it's the same quotes and it's like never anything insightful, you know. Oh well, once we stepped on the gas and stood up to them, we started playing a lot better. And it's like, okay, why didn't you step up since the start of the game? Why didn't you do that for a whole game? Why can't you do that for a whole game? Why can't you bring energy for a whole game? Like, I think people are kind of like sick of those quotes. I don't really blame them. You know what I mean? Like, uh, but you know, Benjamin said that, and then you have all these patronizing, self-righteous people um, saying stuff like, uh, you know, like, oh, well, don't listen to the bandwagoners. Don't listen to the, you know, they're not real fans. You know, that's a fake fan. Like, I hate that. I hate how, like, some fans are just so patronizing. Like, look, Dame, I'm standing up for you, man. I'm standing up to the bad Trailblazer fan who said he, you know, wanted Dame to be more honest. I'm standing up for you. Don't listen to the bandwagon fans, man. It's just like that whole like type of exchange. Just the people that do that, I can't stand them. Okay, like you might not have the same viewpoint on the quotes that the players have or Dame has or whatever. Doesn't mean you need to be patronizing, self-righteous, and put down other people because like Benjamin wasn't hating. Benjamin wasn't like he wasn't it wasn't bad like some fans were trying to point out. And Benjamin replied to Dame because Dame said BS quotes question mark. If you watch the damn game, then what I'm saying is evident. You wear your shoes, we wear ours. Happy New Year. Like, okay, Dame. um, don't you know? He's basically saying, "Oh, what I said was right." It's like, okay, we're not disagreeing with that. That I don't think that was the point. But Benjamin said, "Sorry this happened, Dame. I love you, man, but I don't regret what I said. I watch every second of every game. I haven't missed a single game you've played in the NBA. Have a nice day." Like, at that point, I wouldn't even defend myself. Like, I wouldn't. If Dame like quote tweeted me like that, I'm responding to him like he's a normal person. That's just me. Like, I'm a huge Dame fan, obviously, but I'm responding to him like I'm a normal person. I would be like, damn, we hear this after every game. Why can't you do it for a full 48 minutes? That's what we're wondering. Like, it's, you know, and this comes from somebody who's a fan of the team. Like, I want to know, why can't we put together a full game of effort? But yeah, so Benjamin, if he's watching, man, I got your back. I thought people were, did Benjamin change his profile pic from Dame to Anfernee after that? He did. He did. He changed his profile picture from Dame to Anfernee. That's funny as hell. Yeah, no. So I kind of felt bad for him, man. I just don't. I don't know. I just didn't like the self-righteousness on that reply. So
Yeah, but you're coming at it from a view where you've said before you wouldn't even care if he followed you, you know, like that type of thing. Whereas a lot of people on Twitter that would like make their life if a guy like
I mean,
Dame responded to one of their two.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the dude's a human being. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, that's cool, but it's like, you know, how much attention is Dame really gonna pay to your tweets? You know what I mean? And even if he does, like, okay, he knows you exist. Cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's a human being. Like, people forget that, you know? Like, you might be starstruck, you know, meeting somebody like that, but in terms of them following you on social media, it's, I don't know. It just doesn't, it's just not as big of a deal to me as it is to other people. You know, you had Brady, the guy who I got into it with, who tried to say I was chasing clout on Twitter, which I don't think I've ever done. Which, you know, you listen to me right now, obviously, like, I don't care that much. You know, I got into it with Brady, and he was a guy who I had to unfollow because he was, like, begging for Damian Lillard to follow him back. Like, Dame, please follow me, man. I made an edit of you, like, that type of stuff. And it was just, like, I don't understand people like that. It's like, why is it such a big deal? I don't know. But we're going to probably wrap up this podcast. Short little, I don't know how long this podcast's been. 40-minute podcast. We like to keep these a bit shorter until there's, like, you know, no point to stretch it on until there's like legit news where we could just dive deep into. In terms of analyzing the team, like, there's really nothing left to say on a podcast. At the start of the season, we could kind of like break things down, everything was fresh, but now it's like we have the same problems game after game after game, and we address them each post-game show, and it's the same stuff, same thing. So, not really anything to break down in the podcast. Hopefully I'll have a mailbag out tomorrow. Eric's Trade Talk video out soon. Tonight or tomorrow. I don't know. When do you plan on having that, Eric?
As soon as you help me with the graphics. We could do this right afterwards.
With the graphics. Probably tomorrow morning, I'm thinking. Trade, it's a Tuesday, but it's not going to be just on Tuesdays. We were saying Trade Talk Tuesday. It's just going to be Eric's Trade Talk. I like that. So we got Anthony Tolliver and Mario Zonia to the Lakers in return for LeBron James per Woj. Okay.
Well, Zacho started it by.
I know that one was funny. That one was us, and they said the ball movement was gonna be better. That was funny as hell. But yeah, no, I get Woj's. It's funny because I get notification alerts for Wojnarowski. So if he tweeted something out, I would see it on my phone before chat would. Because I'm literally looking at my phone while I read the comments saying, Woj, Woj just tweeted this. Like, it ain't showing up as a notification. Anthony Tolliver has agreed to a $10 million Big 3 contract. See, I could see it. Tori, you were so mad at the Thunder fans. Thunder fans are ridiculous on Twitter. Yeah. We're going to wrap up this podcast. And we're going to see you guys tomorrow. That game's at what, 4?
It's either 4 or 5, yeah, somewhere in there.
It's at 4. I don't know when my men's league game is, but it'll be either 6:30, 7:30, 8:30. So I might only be live for an hour, but I could maybe leave Eric on it. We'll see about that. I'll figure that out tomorrow. But I don't know exactly how the post-game show is going to go tomorrow, but we will have a post-game show.
Austin, the video's all ready. I just need a little bit of help from
I'm helping him out with the graphics because Eric, Eric is. I got to teach him how to like mess around with some like thumbnails and stuff like that. He's my I'm his mentor right now, so we're working through some things. So I wanted to create Eric's Trade Talk graphic along the bottom of the screen. That would look cool.
Yeah,
that would look cool. So that's what I'm gonna help him with, and you'll have a couple of videos in the next day or so, and then post-game show, and gonna try and ramp up the videos. So that's the plan for the future, and that's a wrap for this podcast. As always, thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Go Blazers.